back. It's what we want to roll to first here. So here's all the other stuff we've been doing on page 2. As always, if you need any of the back notes, you can always borrow mine and then just get them back to me, or you also can watch the lesson from that date and kind of see how some things are working as well. So here, as we're rolling on to day 3 at the bottom of your page 2 here. You're like, oh, Hardy, we got words again. But today, this is why we have the colors today. We have them for a little different of a reason than we did yesterday. Yesterday, our focus was more on, hey, we're going to copy the angles, make sure we're finding the right things. Today, we're going to use the colors in a different way. And that is to figure out what goes on each side of your equation. So, for instance, what you're going to find with these is each sentence is going to have parts or numbers that we're going to have to use to figure out the expression. But it'll stop at each individual sentence. So here's what I mean. Okay, Jane has $30 and is saving at a rate of $7 per week. Okay, Jane has $30 and is saving. If you're saving, you're putting money away, you're putting it into your savings. So we're going to plus. At a rate of $7 per, sometimes that may say each. That's our variable term. If you see per or each, some word like that, that's where X comes into play. And we get that set. That's my whole first sentence. So I'm done with that part. So now I start the second sentence with another part on here. Susan has $50, all right, and is saving, adding to that, at a rate of $3 per week. When will they have the same amount of money? When will they have an equal amount of money? So, just like we've been looking at for the past couple of days now. Same goals. All my x's need to be on one side. So we do an opposite. So the opposite of positive or plus 3x would be to subtract that, which is going to move all of our x's to one side. Once all our x's are together, now the job becomes to get them alone, to isolate them. So again, I have a positive 30 here, or I'm adding 30 to 4x. I got to do the opposite. And this should almost be getting to a point that it's sounding like a broken record, because it is. It's literally the same 2 to 3 steps we're doing every time. Get all the x's to one side, do the opposite to get the x's alone, and normally at the end, we're going to be multiplying x by something. We're going to divide and find out that, yes, indeed, it will take 5 weeks for them to have the same amount of money. But the one nice thing with these applications is you know that your two parts are going to equal. So I get my 2 separate pieces, I put an equals in the middle, I'm going to be right, okay, in what I'm doing. So, let's see here. We might have to flip back and forth a little bit. We'll see how this goes. Okay. Courtney's allowance, okay, let me grab my colored pen here again. Courtney's allowance increased, got bigger, by $30. Okay, so Courtney's allowance, now let's see. Let's read ahead for a second here. It's the same as twice her allowance. Find her allowance. Okay, so first things first. Find her allowance. Her allowance is X. So Courtney's allowance, X, is increased by 30. Okay. Is the same, is equal to. Okay, so we see in here our equals part's in the middle, and then is equal to is the same as what? 2 times her allowance. So I'm looking for those key words, whether it's per and each defined in X, or is the same as, is equal to, is the same, to get that equals. And then, Hardy broken record, get all my X's together. If there's a side with only X, as we have mentioned before, that's usually the easiest place to move our X's to. I'm going to move my answer over here since I wrote a little big over there. So I got 30. 2x minus 1x is just x. We've already got that. So it looks like Courtney's allowance itself was $30. Now, if I wanted to check, it wouldn't be hard. I'd just be like, hey, 30 plus 30, that's 60. 2 times 30 is also 60. Okay, they equal. That works, and I can make that be the case. One last one. Again, let's see what we got. 10 more than twice a number. Okay. 10 more, 10 plus, then twice a number. We just saw what that was over here. Is the same. Even if the word is was only there, that would mean the same thing. Is, so equals, same as 4 times the number. Very similar, again, especially to the example we just did right up above it. So use that example as your guide. Oh, we're getting the x's over to here. Okay, so I'll do the opposite of this. This time I didn't write quite as big, so I should be able to fit this in. 4 minus 2 is 2. But this time, though, x is not by itself quite, so I've got to fix that. Okay. And I can find my number. You will always have 2 separate expressions that you're looking for, and something telling you where the equals is going to be in the middle, hence the colors to help us figure that out. So, again, don't put this away, keep it handy. We're going to be looking then at the page that you picked up in the back. So with these, again, you kind of start to look and you're like, okay, so I tried to be nice on some of these and put is the same as to know where your equals is. You're just coming from each side to make your expressions. Now, the one on the front that's a little bit different that I want to jump in on and help with, then we'll take a quick peek at the back. is number 3. And then I'm going to help you on the back with 1 because one of the numbers got cut off. So, okay, if we take a peek at number 3, we have Taylor. Taylor makes $10 per hour babysitting. Per hour. Every hour she gets $10. So, 10x. Whereas, Ella makes $6 per hour plus a $20 tip. Once you can get this part down, the rest of it, again, I can come back if I need assistance and look at some of the ones that I've already done. Say, okay, opposite of positive 6x is minus. We're good. Then we got to undo the multiply with divide. So if they each babysat for 5 hours, they'd end up making the same thing. So all we're going to do on these is get those set up, do the quick 2-step, go about our business. Now, however, just one thing out of my way here. When you get to the back, you're like, oh, Hardy, again, what's up with the review? It's called I'm slowly getting you ready for the next quiz. So we've got different things back here. We've got the parentheses and things like that. But here again is why we do the notes. It's not just for Hardy to take up your time. So like if you're looking on here, and let's say you got to, I don't know, number 3, and you're like, I don't remember how to do this. Very front page of your notes, you've got something that looks exactly the same to work with. Or if you're not sure how to deal with number 4, maybe you look at that and you're looking at this, you're going, oh, but wait, there's one thing on number 4. That 2 is making this not look like this. So, before we go too far, I'm going to give you a hint here, just a hint. Now it looks exactly like this. The notes not only help you to find answers on the practice, it gets you in good habits of finding where you get this help. So when you're doing the quiz, if you need help, you know where to find it and how to use it. And that becomes a big deal with these. I mean, even if I was doing, let's say I was setting up number 5, like, Hardy, you are random today. I'm not random. I'm just trying to show that if I look at things, in a recent survey, 2 out of 7 cats preferred Whisker's cat food. In a survey, showed 3 out of 5 boys would play video games. This is one of those types things, again, where I can say, okay, 2 out of 7. What about the 2? 2 preferred Whisker's cat food out of each 7 cats. Just like I had video games in total, or video games, I could have put boys here. Now, in a cat shelter that had holy cats, no, not holy cats. I'm bad joke. I think it was 120. It is. This number would have been 120 if the hole punch would not have punched it out. But 120 cats put things that are the same on the same level. Using the examples to be your help until you're feeling comfortable enough to do it yourself. Last hint from Hardy. What's midpoint mean? Let's see here. Do I have help for that in here? Oh, wait. I remember talking about this when we were playing with these yesterday. So sometimes even my practice can be my help. When we were doing midpoint just meant the two parts are equal because midpoint's in the middle. I have my equation already. This is why it's important to do the examples, to not be doing work from prior days or looking up other classes' stuff or doing any of those above things, because it takes your tool away from you. And I don't want your tool to be taken away from you. So, again, work on our mystery sheet here that does not have a page number. Okay? Be working on some of the other things, because again, going back to our current packet, you're like, wait, Hardy, what kind of craziness is coming that I see after this? Are you going to make us do all this crazy worded stuff? The answer is no. Here's an opportunity for some of you. Not only to get some extra practice with the word problems if you feel you need them, but to get extra points out of me. If you do the equation with variables on both side word problems, either of the sheets in here, because I put a couple of them in here, you absolutely, positively, when you turn in your packet during the quiz, will get extra points. So, even do a few of them. Get you some extra points. Because tomorrow, bless you, we are going to be chatting Quiz 4 review, and then this first practice packet is over. So we'll be looking at a quiz based on the review and based on the notes we've done so far. So again, lots of things to practice to make yourself better, but make this one here your priority. I have keys up front and online. If you need help, I'll come by, but have your notes out so we can learn how to work those better and keep